Pokemon was first released in February 1996, with its first video game title as Pokemon Red and Green hitting store shelves in Japan. It would instantly become a smash hit and be ported over to other regions as Pokemon Red and Blue. Since then, they have found massive success, releasing a plethora of movies, anime series, video games, merchandising, and card sets, being a part of the Macy's Parade every Thanksgiving, and releasing albums of music sung by popular artists like Ed Sheeran. What the fuck? Their most recent release, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, destroyed Nintendo's sales records by selling 10 million copies in the first 3 days. All of this culminates in Pokemon being the highest grossing franchise in the world. Digimon also exists. Howdy, and welcome back to another episode of Digimon Smash or Pass, where I inevitably say smash to a bunch of buff dragons and a rabbit with guns. This looks a little awkward, but it's because I already recorded this video without this pop filter. I'm not going to do it. I won't ruin your ears. I'll ruin your ears with the original audio. Pokemon, to put them Pokemon's pronunciation like 80% off. Yeah, it was bad. So we're doing it again, which is so much fun. I'm falling apart. So I've been seeing a certain comment pop up through the Pokemon community from time to time, as of late anyway. That is, of course, the X Pokemon looks like a Digimon comment. I'm actually kind of guilty of this myself. When Inteleon was revealed, I couldn't help but hate on him. He's, not my favorite. This is a problem I haven't seen anyone else tackle, but if you have seen a video like this, oops. I feel pretty well equipped to talk about this. I wasn't around back in the main Pokemon versus Digimon conflict, the 90s, and I'm actually a pretty big fan of both series for their respective reasons. And I'm a big fan of monsters and character designs, so, I mean, this should be my bread and butter. God fucking damn it. Why did I write that? Why did I write that? That's so dumb. That's literally the worst fucking line I've ever written. I fucking hate that. Now, I feel like it's only fair to give a little bit of Digimon history as well. As someone who likes Digimon but wasn't around during its release, it's kind of easy to forget that it started out as a Tamagotchi clone. I mean, when Pokemon was creating its formula that it would stick to way too closely for the next 25 years, Digimon was created to sell Tamagotchis to boys. Digimon Tamagotchis were like little pixel guys that you could train up and then fight your friends on the playground. They also made a CD-ROM version of it, but I can't really find anything about it other than this announcement post that I found on archive.com. The Digivice Tamagotchi, it sold pretty well, but it was mostly just in Japan. The real thing that I can gather from most people remembering is the anime, Digimon Adventure. It was seemingly remembered fondly, but they actually released 5 other series after that before the reboot in 2020. They also released a bunch of movies too, including the Tri-movies, which are just Digimon Adventure movies with the cast aged up. When the reboot came out a couple years back, it was received with mixed reviews, much like the current going show Digimon Ghost Game. I'm assuming they remade the series just to like pull back that original audience that they had. Psst, I don't think it worked. Then there's the games. They all suck. Okay, that's not necessarily true, but most of them are pretty ass. To simplify, Cyber Sleuth, the Rumble Arena games maybe, World Next Order maybe, and Digimon Survive are like the only good ones. I do have to put some respect on Digimon Survive and Ghost Game for handling some dark themes. That's something that Pokemon doesn't really get into all that much. Okay, I went on for a little bit too long there, sorry about that. Let's get back to the design stuff. So what do the histories have to do with the monster designs? Not much. I just like talking about the history. I think it's fun. Oh, don't even get me started on the card game. It's pretty good. Back to the main video. It's design time. Finally. This is going to be easy. This is a Digimon. This is a Pokemon. Digimon, Pokemon. Digimon, Pokemon. Digi... No. This is gonna be harder than I thought. Alright, we need to... Oh, fuck. We need to boil down what makes this look like a Digimon and this look like a Pokemon. I feel like it's only fair to start with Pokemon first. They came out before, and they're also the ones who are still... They're the only ones that matter, man. Alright, I'm gonna take 6 of each monster and boil them down to their, like, core design ideas. Then we'll use that to decide once and for all, or at least until Gen 10 comes out, to answer the age-old question, do Digimon look like Pokemon? Shit, wait. Alright. The 6 Pokemon I chose are as follows. Pikachu is the mascot, Charizard is the oversaturated, Greninja is the fan favorite, Lucario is the series furry, Squirtle is my favorite, and Delibird as the random choice. I'll list off the group of Digimon now, but I kinda had a hard time with it. Agumon fits into 3 of these categories, really, but after doing a late Google search, I found out that Bandai actually did their own, like, favorite of all time Digimon. And, I mean, Pikachu is actually the most oversaturated Pokemon. I just picked Charizard because that's what everyone else says. So, the Digimon are as follows. Agumon is the series mascot. Vmon as the oversaturated. I'll explain. Omnimon is the fan favorite. Renamon is the series furry. Black War Greymon is my favorite. Hi. I forgot he was here. Away you go. Ugh. And Saberdramon is the random pick. Alright, before we start, I'm going to answer a couple questions. Vmon is the most oversaturated one just because of all of its evolutions, I guess. And there's like a fuck ton of them in the card game. Not as much as Agumon, but like, what do you want from me? Vmon's got like 3 different armored forms. X-Vmon, Vidramon, Gold Vidramon, Sagittarianmon, I think? I don't know. And whatever the fuck Imperial Dramon has going on, I don't want to think about it. Number 2, the random ones are in there just to spice it up, you know? I feel like picking the most popular doesn't necessarily correlate to the most Pokemon, you know? Number 3, yeah, it's pronounced Delibird, not Delibird, okay? It's a fucking play on the word delivered with bird in it. Don't let 4 kids ruin your pronunciations. You're right there. And number 4, I wanted 6 categories because it's like Pokemon teams, a 6 on your team, and like furries was the funniest thing I could come up with. I'm sorry, okay? Stupid. Putting all 6 Pokemon designs side by side, yeah, there's some similarities. For starters, these designs are very, like, pristine, I guess. They have very clean outlines with little to no detail work, and their colors are super simple, usually only having one main one. They want as many of these guys to be as marketable as possible. It's why you can see plushes of Charizard, but not Wargreymon. Their designs also contribute to their power sets. The blue ones are water types, Delibird has a snowy-like fluff to him, Charizard has wings and a flame tail, Lucario has spikes and an intimidating glare. These designs are pretty concise, and they all seem to show off a cartoony, stylized version of 1 or 2 concepts. Frog Ninja, Santa Bird, Turtle, Electric Mouse, Fire Dragon, DeviantArt Bait. In fact, I wouldn't even be surprised if part of their design process was to take 2 ideas and mash them together into one creature. I mean, that's certainly how most of the new starters seem. Fox Witch, Owl Archer, Twink Duck, you know, the classics. There's actually some good variety within these 6 designs, which actually translates to most of the decks. This is why I feel like Fakeamon are so popular to make, especially during a new generation. However, I will say that this variety does still have its limits, as Pokemon like Stonejourner and Barbarical still feel out of place for me. They don't feel like Digimon. I just feel like I'm getting more Yokai Watch vibes from them. I don't know. Now onto the Digimon designs, and yeah, have you looked at any of these? These guys are way more detailed, and before you start complaining, that's not inherently a good thing. First off, they gave Agumon moobs. Why give the little dinosaur boy moobs? He don't need them. He don't need them. I think I need to give multiple examples, because, like, In the official artwork, this Agumon has like really thick veins and it's super like rough shading all over it. I'll just use some examples from the TCG because they look so good. And the art takes up most of the card and not 80% of it being a solid, boring color. You know. So Tom Fon can sign my fucking Agumon card on the actual goddamn Agumon card, and I can still read his signature. This is stupid. What a dumb. The designs have a lot of good detail as well, using smaller colors and smaller designs, but using a lot of colors in the bigger designs like Omnimon. And it doesn't make them look like crowded or anything. They look cool. And say what you will about humanoid designs with these monsters, the muscle definition, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And a lot of them actually get like armor and weapons, things like that, like Black War Greymon, which I actually find to be really cool. They also use symbols on some of the Digimon, like Vmon and Renamon. Right there. Right on the thighs. Digimon usually have two things that I use to pick them apart from Pokemon. It's the use of apparel and items and the eye design. I really like the design of the eyes in Digimon. I understand why they use them in some of their promotional stuff. They're just really cool and unique. My last comment's a little bit off topic, but I just want to say it because it's a little annoying. Some of the Digimon are just recolors of other Digimon. Take Saberdramon, for example, is just a recolor of Birdramon. At least in this rendition from the TCG, they make the flames look like dark energy. I don't like that much. I don't know. Now we have our general ideas of what each monster should look like. Pokemon should be simple, with a low color count and ideas that use 1 to 3 simple themes just mixed together. Digimon should have higher amounts of detail, with the use of items, clothing, and symbols, the distinct eye design, mostly sticking to either humanoid or very monster-looking designs. Alright, now onto the application. I went on Twitter and Reddit to find some of the most popular examples of this from the most recent generations, to put them to the test. The first one I saw was Gimmighoul, and like, I don't know. It's definitely out there for a Pokemon, but that doesn't mean it doesn't look like one, you know? Running it through the criteria shows this. Simple concept. Little goblin guy that likes coins, small color count, and overall clean design. I mean, it does have an item like some Digimon, but it's just a coin. There is a coin Digimon, Kozenamon, but that's just straight up a coin. I'm more surprised I haven't seen much talk about its evolution, Golden. It has a much busier design with its solid gold color, which is something Digimon has done before, and it's wearing a belt, kind of like clothes, I guess. Still, I'm getting more Yokai Watch or Ghostbusters or maybe like a bank or insurance mascot. Not Digimon. Alright, Koraidon and Miraidon are actually pretty interesting to discuss. I've already found a flaw in my formula, and that's what I'm deeming the legendary clause. Legendaries are supposed to be special, so their designs can be more out there. For legendaries, though, these guys are pretty complicated. They've got more than 3 colors and have more detail on them than most other Pokemon. Not only are these guys special legendary Pokemon, they aren't even supposed to be normal legendary Pokemon. I mean, they're from the past and future, respectively, so they shouldn't look like normal Pokemon. But you know what? They still kind of do. Koraidon's body shape kind of reminds me of, like, Toxtricity, I guess. And Miraidon's energy doesn't really fit the Digimon world. It reminds me of something from, like, a Pokemon side game, if anything. These guys are supposed to look different, because they're special. Alright, this is the big one. The Gen 9 starters. All 3 of them. I've seen it for all of them. Looking at them all, I see one problem with each of them. Skeledirge is overly complicated, Quaquaval is a bit too exaggerated, and Meowscarada is a bit too human-like. Skeledirge is the only one that I feel like you could make a case for. Quaquaval is just Lopunny and Blaziken mixed together, given the water type. And while Meowscarada has been compared to Renamon or Maycrackmon, I've also seen it just compared to straight-up Lucario. So I don't think the link is Digimon. It's more just straight-up general furry. Skeledirge has a few too many ideas for a Pokemon. Singing fire crocodile skeleton with a phoenix that also is one of these crocodiles from Spanish myth. That's a lot. That's a lot for a Pokemon to handle. But Digimon's complexity isn't within the amount of ideas rather than the amount of detail that they have. Muscle, scars, fur, claws, moves, you know. Classic Digimon. The Charcadet line. We're getting closer, I think, but at the same time, I just agree with the rest of the internet. These are fucking Mega Man characters, man. Hakamo'o. I don't get this one. This is the one that, like, somebody made a post on Reddit calling it out, and although it had like 15 upvotes or something, it wouldn't stop appearing when I was searching for different things. It's a dragon with a scale gimmick. Of course it's gonna have like designed scales. I mean, I guess I could see a little bit of the Huckmon line in this, but it's a weak comparison at best. Alright, now onto the two that I feel like are the most Digimon-like. Tinkaton, Bisharp. Mostly by concept. I mean, like, small fairy, big hammer, that just feels like a Digimon thing. Bisharp is a chess piece with blades. Digimon already did this. Not actually. They're two different things. They don't really relate too much. But I still feel like the armor is kind of like a Digimon design. These designs still feel very Pokemon, and I think that's just from the style. In fact, if you drew Pokemon in the Digimon style, they would probably end up looking like Digimon. And same goes for the reverse. See? Alright, now for the one that got me to say it. Inteleon. 4 different colors, odd body proportions despite it being humanoid, and a distinct personality. I mean, those are Digimon qualities if I've ever seen one. God damn it. So, what's the conclusion? They don't look like Digimon. I know my method isn't foolproof, but if you put a bunch of Pokemon next to a bunch of Digimon, you're mostly gonna find differences. Sure, there'll be similarities, but I think that mostly just comes from them being part of the same genre. Monster battling, collecting. What does this mean? What is this movement? Listen, if you like a certain design, that's great. If you don't like a certain design, that's also great. Just don't go throwing around silly comparisons that didn't even make that much sense when these two had a rivalry. Alright, I guess that's it. I'll say the generic YouTube shit, like and subscribe. And let me know in the comments. Which of these dragons would you rather bang, dude? None of them? Yeah, that's fair. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Unless for some reason this is my final video. In which case, adios.